Hi guys, I'm Kaz and welcome to my new YouTube channel. I own Leap of Faith coaching services and I help clients to be their best version. Today I'm going to cover the question of what is the law of attraction and does it actually work? This is quite a misunderstood topic and there's quite a lot of people who do have quite a lot of things to say about it. However, they haven't, or it's often not discussed in as much detail so that we can't readily apply it to our everyday lives. So what is the law of attraction? The law of attraction is the idea that our thoughts and emotions create our reality. That whatever we are predominantly thinking and feeling, that the matrix, that the universe will then mirror back to us things that are of like vibrational frequency. I'll get into that in a minute. So it's basically the premise that angry people will attract angry situations, that people that are happy and giving will attract happy and giving situations back to them. And it is that. And it's also a kind of a little bit deeper than that. But that is the general, it's like attracts like, it's thoughts create reality. It is whatever you give out, you receive. I think it was Rhonda Byrne that in 2006 brought out The Secret. The Secret was what brought the law of attraction to the mainstream. But because it was quite not an easy read book, it didn't go into a massive amount of detail. It was difficult, so people just thought, okay, so I think about £1 million and then I'm going to get £1 million tomorrow, or I think about this car and tomorrow the car's going to end up on my driveway. And while obviously if we're saying thoughts create reality, then it is true that, well, under that assumption, you would assume that if you're thinking about a car, then that car's going to turn up. And that was sort of how it was set out. But it goes deeper than that. I'm going to give some examples later. So people sort of became disillusioned with it. So maybe they were trying some of the techniques, they were doing visualizations, they were trying to attract money, for example. And they just found that thinking that reading the book and doing a few visualizations, it just didn't change a thing. And that's because while our thoughts do create our reality, at a deeper level, it's our beliefs that create our reality. Now, a belief is just a thought that you've thought that many times and accepted as true, that you have allowed, not allowed it, that it has gone down in your subconscious and it is now a program. And it is actually, it's not our conscious mind that creates. So thoughts do create reality, but we've only got access to the conscious part of our brain, of our mind. So the voice that you can hear in your head, the one that makes decisions and chats and thinks and talks about things, that's our conscious mind, and that is what we have immediate access to. However, when it comes to attracting power, when it comes to the law of attraction in the universe is mirroring back the dominant beliefs and programs that are stored in the subconscious. The subconscious is a huge part of our brain that a lot of people, even scientists and stuff, don't fully understand. But what we do know is that it's creating about 95% of our behaviour and thus creating about 95% of our reality. So in order to change the results that we're getting, we do need to use our thoughts, but we need to use our thoughts not to immediately manifest, but to start to override negative programs in the subconscious and add more productive programs. So example, if you have in your subconscious mind, so if you look at the results that you've got in your life and you do a life audit and you say that you've got absolutely no money and no kind of self-esteem, then what we're looking at there is, because you of the results that you're getting, you have in your subconscious a program that is getting you them negative results. So a poverty consciousness program, or a program that was installed where we don't think that we're good enough. And because that is the dominant program in your subconscious, that is what will attract, not the two thoughts that you have that say, oh, I am rich and prosperous, or oh, I love myself. Because doing that once or twice isn't going to affect like 30, 20, however many years you've been on this planet. of programming. And that's kind of that's where people not trip up, but this is where the misunderstanding comes in. Because yes, we do need to use our thoughts to create our reality. However, this has got to be done enough to form new programs and new habits. And it was never set out in a way that said, sit down for 6 to 8 weeks and do this every day and this every day, and that will sort that out, and then you'll free that program up. So if you have a poverty consciousness program and you are massively suffering and you're in loads of debt, and no matter what you do, you can't get out of that, what we would do is, for the first month or two, is literally work on installing a new program. So using the law of attraction and using the power of your conscious mind, we would flood the subconscious with what we wanted rather than what we didn't want. So it would be visualization techniques about having money, putting emotion into visualization using all the senses, stuff like hypnosis, 423 hertz music, all sort of subliminals. You can do all sort of a million different techniques to start and get the new program instilled in the subconscious. But if you have a program that is the opposite of what you want, so if you want to be rich and you've got a poverty consciousness program, you ain't getting there from there. The gap is too big. Where you are is that far different from where you want to be, that 2 affirmations and a week of doing a vision board, it's just not going to cut it. So this is why the law of attraction, to start and kind of build your belief up, you're not going to build your belief about the law of attraction up if you use the law of attraction at the first time kind of on the most challenging subject in your life. It's much easier to manifest a feather. It isn't. You can manifest £1 million just as easily as a feather. But because we don't hold blocks and belief systems that say we can't have a feather, it's easy for us to manifest it because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I always get clients to try and kind of manifest parking spaces first or manifest feathers first. And then in doing that and in seeing that works, then their belief in the process work will increase. And the more your belief in it increases, because a belief is just a thought that you've thought that many times, that it becomes a program that's stored in the subconscious, you will then start and create a different reality, if that makes sense. So I'll do another test. Our subconscious is taking in millions of bits of information every second. So it knows everything that's going on. It's like a 360 tape recorder that's constantly playing and has been since birth. It knows everything. They know this because they can hypnotize people and pick up bits of information that they're not consciously aware of. So they know that it's all stored somewhere in the brain. What was my point? I do this all the time, go off on little tangents and then, oh yeah, I remember, and then forget where I am. So your subconscious is taking in millions of bits of information per second, but your conscious mind, that little thing that we hear in our heads, can only take in a handful. So if you count how many things in your room or wherever you are now, count how many things that you can see that are blue. I'll just give you a minute. So just count how many things are blue. Okay, now close your eyes and now tell me how many things you saw that were pink. And you'll be like, I don't know how many things were pink because I was looking for blue. And that is a selective attention filter that our brain does to filter out information, because we wouldn't be able to cope with that much information at once. And so while your subconscious is very aware of every single colour that's going on, every bird that's chirping outside, your conscious mind is only aware of what you're directing or what I asked of it. And therein lies the trick to it. So you're using the power of your conscious mind to direct your thoughts, to eventually override negative programs in the subconscious, clear them up, and thus have no kind of manifesting blocks, and therefore be able to reprogram quite easily. So the question, does the law of attraction work? Yes, it very much does work. It just is not a quick fix. By any means, not a quick fix solution at all. This is a thing that's got to be done daily for 4 to 8 weeks minimum to begin to see a difference. Because after 4 to 6 weeks, what will happen is you'll have got a little bit of it down into the subconscious, and then because of the selective attention, your subconscious will be pulling confirming evidence out of reality for you. it would, so the trick is just to, if you can convince yourself of something, your subconscious will bring it into reality. But you've got to program yourself. You've got to do this every day. It's a daily thing. It's using affirmations. It's using visualization techniques. It is literally working on every single kind of part of our lives and how we relate to it. If I asked you now to write down what you thought about yourself, or what you thought about money, or what you thought about your ability to do X, Y, and Z, it's going to be a predominantly negative statement. And that's because we are predominantly thinking negative and picking negative things out, and thus we are therefore creating the negative. So it's just, we've got to switch it around. So other ways to do this, again, I'll post links below, but 432 hertz music's really good because of the frequency. I'm going to go into frequency on another, because I'm 11 minutes in, I'm going to go into frequency on another video. But everything vibrates and everything is energy. And again, it's about vibration. So it's about your emotional state and your wishes, views, thoughts, everything all have their own vibrational special frequency stamp. And whatever your stamp is, you will attract from the universe corresponding things. So it's about getting your vibrational stamp to be where you want it to be, or where your goals are, rather than to be in your current situation. And we do that by using the power of our conscious mind. So affirmations, gratitude, 1,000,000%. Watch what you're saying to people. You've got to watch the bitching about life. You've got to watch the moaning about every little thing. Watch people have a conversation. You see each other in the street and like, how are you? Oh, I'm terrible. This happened. When have you ever heard someone go, oh, I'm amazing. I woke up this morning, I'm alive, I have food on the table, life is good. Doesn't happen, because we're programmed into being negative, into thinking negative, into talking about negative things. So we thus create what we are not wanting to create by virtue of thinking about it. So really, really good books to purchase on this would be Abraham Hicks' Asking It Is Given. It's one of my all-time favourites. I do love that one. All of them by Wanda Burn, because even though obviously if you're quite new to this, The Secret's quite a good place to start, because it sets it out in quite a basic format. After that, she did do The Power and Hero, which are really, really good as well. But Abraham Hicks is always quite a good way to go. Other than that, Bob Proctor as well is awesome at explaining things. But I'm going to do a whole another video on the subconscious and conscious mind, how they interact, how they work, and how that relates to the law of attraction, as well as the one on vibration and energy and set points in the emotional scale. So again, please comment below if you've got any questions, or if you've got any topic suggestions for another video, and like and subscribe if you do like my video. And thank you very much, and have a beautiful day. Bye.